kindly do the introductory remarks, Mr. B.S. Srinivasan, our Vice President, Laghu Udyog Bharati Company.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and good afternoon, Ravindranath Rajappa sir, from the Senior Manager from the Bharat Electronics Limited, one of
Good
the
evening, sir.
Navarat. Good evening. And Bharat Electronics Limited is a Navaratna company in the Indian context, and they are going to achieve close to about nearly 20,000 crores in the coming years in form of turnover, and one of the premier companies in the country manufacturing electronic and defense equipments. We welcome you to our vendor development program series on the International MSME Week that we are celebrating from 27th of June till 4th of July. In the International Week celebration, we had our Minister of State, Mr. Pratap Sarangi from Delhi, on a webinar that was on the 27th, and he has been very clear about our Atmanirbhar program, wherein manufacturing for India and manufacturing for the world is the context that we're working today. Bharat Electronics has been taking vendors from micro and small enterprise sector for more than about 40 to 50 years now. And today, Mr. Ravindranath will be speaking to you about the requirements of the forthcoming years in electronics, in plastics, in molding, in welding, sheet metal technology, and various other things about how to make quick prototypes and the needs and the requirements and the stringent standards of the requirements that Bharat Electronics requires our vendors to have possess in their facility. And I welcome you to the gathering today, sir. On behalf of Laghu Udyog Bharati as Vice President, I'll just mention a few lines about the Laghu Udyog Bharati's activities. Laghu Udyog Bharati is celebrating the 25th year of inception from 1994. We are now in the 26th year. And Laghu Udyog Bharati across the country in various platforms, we have in excess of about 27,000 members. And we are into all sectors of manufacturing, and also particularly into helping the women entrepreneurs in their activities of their manufacturing, and also in the trading of the household and handicrafts and the cottage industry items. Laghu Udyog Bharati's very important point is in the Atmanirbhar program to make in India or make for the world, and also we help our micro and small enterprise to get more business and thereby develop global competency in manufacturing. And as you are aware, the manufacturing to the GDP of the economy, we are in close to about 18 to 19% of the GDP today. Our focus is to raise it to 25% in the coming years. The reason being, we are producing more than 10 million graduates and engineers, diploma holders, and people looking for jobs in the country. And they need gainful employment. The only way we can give gainful employment for the population is by giving the model of enterprise. And developing enterprise solution is one of the forte of Laghu Udyog Bharati. And Laghu Udyog Bharati has been very, very vocal in support of startups in mentoring the handholding for the enterprise to get to the next level, and also implementing Lean, Six Sigma, and various other methods of manufacturing to reach the global level. I welcome you all the participants, and our request has been made from our secretary, Mr. Shekhar, to keep your video cameras on. Video cameras off and your mics off. Only the presentation will be done by Mr. Ravindranath Rajappa. There will be sufficient time for interaction at the end of the program. Kindly do not disturb the proceedings till such time. Thank you very much and welcome you all. Please.
Thank you very much, sir. Let me briefly introduce the speaker for today's webinar. Mr. R. Ravikant currently holds the position of Senior Deputy General Manager in the Product Design Group in Export Manufacturing Unit. He has extensively worked in various capacities at BEL, including product design, quality assurance, assembly, material management. He has been personally involved in projects like electronics target system, small arms, TV platform, monorail, TV and mobile transmitters, fly away terminals, GPS projects, in charge of export group contract manufacturing and exports. His key achievements include he has been bestowed with R&D awards for 3 times, played key role in EVM and VVPAT for
160.
Voice not clear. Your voice not clear.
as achieved cost reduction in indigenization during EVM and projects.
Excuse me, we can't hear you clearly, sir.
Can I now officially request Mr. Ravindranath to start the session, please?
Yeah, good evening, and can I start the program?
Yes, sir. Please.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Can you help me with switching over to my PPT also?
Yes, sir.
Any instruction for me?
Nothing, sir. You can start off your session, sir.
Okay. So it's visible now. Am I audible clearly?
Yes, sir.
And my PPT, is it visible?
PPT.
You have to share it.
So can I start off?
Yes, sir. Your PPT is not yet audible.
Yeah, my PPT is full screen now.
Share it, sir.
Share it. Okay. Okay. It is shared?
Share as a window. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I shared it as a window.
Okay, sir. Full screen, sir. Now you just
Yeah.
maximize it, sir.
Is it okay?
Maximize it, sir.
Yeah, maximized.
Not yet, sir. This is very soon.
Oh, for me, it is maximized on my screen.
Okay, you can carry on. Please go ahead.
Okay. Okay, good evening and welcome you all for this online business conclave on vendor development for MSMEs and celebration of International MSME Week. I would like to thank Mr. Shekhar and his group for inviting me for this program, and also Laghu Udyoga Bharati. I just want to start with introduction of about my company first, then what initiatives we are taking in Bharat Electronics for MSME vendors, and I'll go through registration process, how you have to become a potential vendor for Bharat Electronics. Little bit I'll touch upon the startups, which is today's requirement, and I'll give a small conclusion on the entire program. Later we can have a Q&A session about Bharat Electronics. This is our corporate office, which is situated in Bangalore. So Bharat Electronics, many of you must be already aware, but still I would like to give a small introduction and details about where and all our presence is there.
Sorry, excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Your screen is not fully shared, sir. It is only halfway. It is we are able to see. Can you
maximize it, sir, please?
make
Actually, I maximized it. I actually maximized it, but it is flickering here for me. I don't know why.
No, it's not the way flickering. It's actually showing only the half sheet, sir.
1 second.
No, here. There is no problem.
Minimize and do it, sir. Please.
Is it all right now? Is it all right?
Yeah,
We are
it's
not
all right.
able to see anything here, sir. It's completely not visible.
No,
Yeah, let me share it again.
Hello.
Yeah, is it all right now?
Yeah, it is very much all right for us. I don't know. I mean, it depends on the
Other side.
Yeah.
bandwidth or something like that?
Correct, exactly. That's exactly what I'm trying to say.
Okay, if it is coming all right for some people, then it must be the client side that they have to just check onto that. So let me continue. At least my audio is all right.
Yeah.
Your audio is very
Audio is okay. Screen is not okay.
clear.
Screen is not being shared.
No.
Your audio is clear, sir.
In fact, it is visible to many people, I believe.
Yeah, it's very clear, sir. Please proceed.
Okay.
No,
So
sir.
I will start with a small introduction on Bharat Electronics. Bharat Electronics started in the year of 1954, established in 1954, primarily under Ministry of Defense. So our main line of business is in defense sector, and we are spread across. You can see here India map. We are in Panchkula, we are in Kotadwara, Ghaziabad, Navi Mumbai, Pune, Hyderabad, Machilipatnam, Chennai, and Bangalore. So we have totally around 9,279 employees, out of which almost 50% are engineers, and out of which 47% are in R&D. All must be knowing Bharat Electronics is a Navaratna public sector unit. Now coming to our vision, we want to be a world leader and world-class enterprise in professional electronics. And our mission is to be customer-focused, globally competitive company in defense electronics and in other chosen areas of professional electronics through quality, technology, and innovation. So this is a small glimpse on BL order book position as on 1st of April. It's around 51,970 crores, and for the financial year 2020, our turnover was around 12,500 crores, and we grew at a 6% growth rate. And we have a good footprint on exports also. So around $48.59 million of exports we have clocked the last year. And this year, some of the major orders what we acquired is Akash 7 Squadron, Coastal Surveillance System, upgrade for EW system radars, AMC for radars and weapon system, software defined radio, etc. So we have been a growing company. In the year 2015-16, we were around 7,541 crores, and last year we were at 12,500 crores, as I said already. And we have been growing every year, year on year. So this is a picture which shows across the country what we are doing in each of the plants. In Panchkula, we are doing tactical communication equipment, portable radar. In Navi Mumbai, we are doing shelters and masts. And in Pune, we are doing batteries, electro-optics, fuses, and laser products. Bangalore being the
So
main
sorry
unit.
to,
Yes.
sorry to interrupt you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Again,
Pardon, sir?
reload the presentation, sir, again, because it is coming in half.
I have to reload the presentation.
Yes, sir, please, sir.
Okay, stop. I'll go for a stop sharing first.
Yes. First, open the presentation, sir, and keep it ready. Then go for present now and share it, sir.
Yeah, it is kept open, and I'm going for present now. I'm choosing a window. So in the window, I'm choosing the PPT, and I'm going for sharing it. So after sharing now, I'm going for can't share your screen. Sorry, an error has occurred. One screen sharing dismiss. So once again, I have to try it.
I once again request all the participants to kindly switch off your video and audio because it is disturbing the speaker and the bandwidth also.
Is it okay now?
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. At least now it is a clear bit. Go ahead with the presentation, sir, please.
Okay. So I was in Bangalore right now, showing this what we do in Bangalore. So in Bangalore, we have a military communication, electronic warfare activities, military radar, missile systems, then naval systems, homeland security, electronic and voting machine components. These are some major activities what we are doing in Bangalore. And in Kotadwara, it's a defense communication equipment and telecom products. In Ghaziabad, we are majorly into radar, network-centric systems, SATCOM and cellular communication, and we are into antennas. In Hyderabad, we are mainly into electronic warfare equipment. And in Machilipatnam, we are into electro-optic equipment. And Chennai, we are into tagging electronics, land navigation system, gun upgrades. So now I'll come to straight away MSME initiatives, what we are doing at Bharat Electronics. As I previously mentioned, this is our business segments. We are into radar, we are into missile system, we are into communication, electronic warfare and avionics. So it's visible here, electro-optics, tank electronics. We follow a quality management system, and that is what it is shown here. We follow EFQM model. That is, all of us we know, it's a European Federation quality management model. And Ghaziabad unit and Hyderabad units they have received platinum awards with a score more than 550 for the year 2019. So we are into many programs like Six Sigma, Design for Six Sigma, PMP, CRE, CQE, CQM. So Six Sigma projects, you can see we have made something like 495 projects in the year of 1920. And we have 3,000 green belts here, and we have 104 black belts. We run many programs like Design for Six Sigma programs. So there we have some 88 people who have completed the DFSS, and we have 559 PMPs. So like that, we have CRE, CQE shown here. We are in software CMM level 5, CMMI level 5 certified company we are. And the quality system, we have AS9100, and that is version D. It is basically for aerospace and defense standards. All our 13 SBUs and units are certified for this. As far as quality system, we have ISO 9001 and 2015 QMS, and for EMS we have 14001 2015. Similarly, we have ISO 27001 and ISO 17025. We have a programs, in-house programs on suggestions and QCC. So nearly 4,244 suggestions we had in the year of 2019-20, and 766 quality control QCC presentations have happened. This is basically for shop floor level improvements. So these are some of the award functions where our top management has presented themselves. Okay, coming to the vendor base in Bharat Electronics, you can see year-wise how it has grown. So today, if we see this year, our vendor base is 21,425. Out of that, we have 4,535 foreign vendors, and indigenous vendors we have 16,890 vendors, out of which MSME vendors are 2,614. We are constantly striving to add more and more MSME vendors year by year. Now coming to the Make in India initiatives in Bharat Electronics, we focus on our core areas, basically into defense electronics. The non-core areas, we go for outsourcing. And 52% of the material sourced from Indian private industries. We have, as I told you, increased thrust and preference for MSMEs in procurement. So we have in our approved vendor directory 2,614 MSME vendors already, and it is growing. And MSCs have contributed around 42% of the procurement. We have even R&D collaboration with the partners. We have around 234 partners empaneled, and out of that, 107 are MSMEs. So MSME, under MSME initiatives, you can see there, we have a nodal officers in all the units. You can go to our BEL website. It is called www.bl-india.in. So you will have a pull down menus and you can go and access the entire information. So there you will find a nodal officers' names and their contact number. All the MSME vendors, they can approach for whatever problems they have, or to start any activity with Bharat Electronics, or for any encouragement required. So all these MSME vendors, they can access BEL test facilities. We have an exclusive and exhaustive test facilities in our company. Naming them is EMI/EMC test, calibration test, climatic test, thermal cycling test, corrosion test. So all these facilities can be accessed by our vendors. Of course, it has some formalities, it has to be completed. So we are not using this only for our purpose. We help in our vendors to bring their products and get it tested for all these things. We have implemented public procurement policy, and top priority items are identified for indigenization, which I'll come to it later. What are the products we have identified for indigenization? We give a free training to MSME vendors on zero defect, problem solving techniques, Six Sigma, lean manufacturing, QMS, to name few. You can come out with any other requirements that also we can try to customize it based on the need. So BL is registered on TREDS platform to facilitate payments to MSMEs. Vendors can join BL in Make in India efforts by supplying following some of the materials. We can either go for build to print, build to print. I'm sorry, for me it is full screen. I hope it is same for others. Maybe exceptional, some here and there, some issues with others.
No, I think
So
for some people,
okay. So under build to print, we have got machine parts, mechanical assemblies, slide assemblies, racks, etc. And build to specification also, we go to our vendors. We draw specifications with a collaborative partnership. We go for manufacturing those prototypes or actual final products based on the specifications derived. Generally, this happens during indigenization activities, or mostly sometimes our own new development also. Collaborative R&D partners profile is shown here. So we have total partners empaneled is around 248, out of which 115 are MSMEs. So there could be domestic vendors, MSME, R&D organization can be part of this, academicians. So all these people comprise part of our collaborative R&D activities. So how we start actually vendor development? We identify the activities, then we publish EOI, that is expression of interest, or it could be RFP. So at this stage, BEL indicate the general nature of the items and their broad specifications and estimated annual business potential. Then secondly, the second type of vendor development is on a NCNC basis or a trial orders. There are some activities vendors would be interested, but it will be difficult for us to directly go and select those vendors. So those vendors will make some prototypes or design concepts on a NCNC basis. NCNC is basically non-committal and non-costed. So based on that, they submit their products. This is one method of vendor development. The third one is, if the item is found meeting evaluation criteria, these vendors will be included in DL AVD list. Once they are into AVD list or in our source list, all further inquiries or RFQs, by default, it will go to them in the respective areas. So further inquiries are addressed, as I said, it can be automatically or through RFPs based on the commercial terms and conditions. So all of us, we know what is a make to activity. Make one is sponsored by the government and make two is by industries. So MOD has issued the guidelines on that, and we are part of this journey. Just quickly, I'll go through some salient features of this. Basically, it is for import substitution. Every year we have got a program to indigenize, and there are targets for us to indigenize within the organization, or it is a directive from the government. So whenever we go for import substitution, so definitely we have to look for indigenized vendors here. And I must say in this particular forum, in all these activities, the contribution by MSME vendors, in my tenure, what I have seen, is on a higher side. Second one is funding for development is by the vendors only, and items for indigenization will be identified by us, and it will be published on our website. I will come through it after some slides. Then EOIs will be published in the websites again, in the DPSU or MOD websites. Then technical evaluation will be done. Then project sanction order. Then commercial offer to be solicited from the vendors, ready for trials, followed by evaluation and trials of the item offered by the vendors will be done by us. Further, after that, it will be a placement of production orders. Sometimes it will be based on L1. Generally, it will be based on L1. Sometimes it happens other way also. To know how we really go ahead with this entire procurement process, please visit our website. And we have got a purchase procedure and subcontract procedure. It is available in the website. You can download it. You can go through it for more details. Now, these are some of the business segments where we have taken indigenization projects. If you take electronic warfare and avionics SBU, there's a project Himashakti, electronic warfare system for mountainous terrain. Likewise, for naval systems, coastal surveillance system, phase 2, advanced torpedo defense system. When we come to communication SBU, we have a software defined radio for Navy, Tropo communication for Army, combat net radio, and Starsky Mark III. For tank electronics and gun upgrade SBU, we have L70 gun upgrade. Then NBC reconnaissance vehicle. These are just a few, named a few of the projects under indigenization. Otherwise, every SBU wise, we list a whole lot of indigenization activities and we monitor it. The list of total projects for indigenization, it is available on our website. You can please go and have a look at that. It looks something like this. Just bear with me, it is opening that file. You are able to see this. So here, list of items for indigenization.
No, sir, nothing is visible.
So this is basically a PDF file. It is trying to open. And it shows various departments and the description of the project and the requirement for next 5 years. If it is not visible here, I request you people to please go to the website. Under list of items for indigenization, it will be available there. There's a PDF file you can download and you can go through at your leisure. I'll just come out of this. So similarly, nodal officers, I will not try to open this. Please again have a look at in my website. So how is our plan for enhancing MSME participation? See, in our procurement, basically we divide that into two areas. One is purchase parts and one more is subcontracted activities, subcontract parts. Under purchase parts, we will have power supply modules, antenna base assemblies, adapters, switches, junction boxes, EMI gaskets, etc. So these purchase parts requirement will be available for all the MSME vendors wherever they can pitch in. But how do you get access to these things is, see, there are two methods. One is going through either RFP or EOI. I personally feel people, MSME people who are near those BL units, please visit us. Please visit D&D groups, that is design groups, production groups, purchase group, and discuss. There will be much more. What I have listed here is very few. So once you start having that kind of close interaction, you will come to know much more activities going on. Otherwise, these things will be published through either RFP or it will be available on our website sometimes as a requirement. Suppose if I go to subcontract parts, so we require activities in sheet metal. As I told you, we will be focusing on core business areas, and non-core areas we go for outsourcing. So most of this product design, manufacturing, not the design part 100%, the manufacturing part, including this sheet metal parts or machined components, cable assemblies, we go for outsourcing these things. To name a few, if I take a sheet metal parts, it will be an entire life cycle it will involve, including the finished process. So vendor will be responsible for end to end that completion of that particular sheet metal part. It is not that we only go for finished part to one vendor or bending to one vendor. It is not like that. Entire part has to be made by a particular vendor. It is again built to spec or it could be built to part. Then machine components, yes, most of our products are to be machined on a CNC or VNC machines. Again, this requires complete manufacturing, not only the fabrication part, it will involve even finish process as per our standards. So we will give you all those standards along with our purchase order for finish process or any other process standards to be adhered in bringing out this particular part. As far as cable assemblies are concerned, most of our projects require cable assemblies, and this very few cable assemblies we try to do in-house wherever it is complex in nature or which is having some special process. Otherwise, most of the cable assemblies we outsource them. Either it could be cable assembly or it could be cable forms. Now coming to PCB assembly, we internally in the in-house we have SMT lines, but still we outsource a lot of PCBs outside for SMT integration and even for the leaded components. So you can be in touch with all these nodal officers, keep checking with them. There will be a lot of opportunities in these areas. And coming to the other wiring part, the entire rack has to be wired. So we will make assembly drawings for that, wiring diagrams. As per that, we need a skilled workforce for doing this rack wiring or sub-assemblies. This will be an opportunity for MSME vendors. So sometimes it may happen inside BL or it may be in their premise. Now coming to the PCB manufacturing and design. Yes, we outsource PCB design and manufacturing activity outside. When we recently did the electronic voting machine, in that non-secured or which is not very secret in nature, we outsource because we had to make that project in a very short span. But generally, secured activities we don't outsource. Non-secured activities only we outsource, especially PCB and PCB assembly. And this time, when we went through electronic voting machine project, we had a lot of plastic molding activities. Generally, this plastic molding happens in the civilian projects, and in defense projects, it will be generally machine components and sheet metal parts. Plastic molding, we generally give our final requirement. The vendors have to get into plastic mold design, mold flow analysis. They have to just give us a finished product as per our requirement. So I'm just showing some screenshots how you have to really access our website. You can just say bl-india.in. So you can see there, Make in India, there's one icon or a pull down menu. Just click on that. You get into MSME initiatives. And then clicking on that, you will get into this screen where you will find online MSME credential updation and list of some items reserved for MSMEs. And also you can click on nodal officers to find who are the nodal officers for you to interact with them to taking forward your journey with Bharat Electronics. I'm just showing some glimpses of some few of the purchase items for MSMEs, which is reserved for MSMEs. It goes up to 358 numbers. So you can go through it. It is just if somebody is not able to see the screen, I'll read out for them. Agricultural implements, hand operated tools and implements, animal driven implements, air room coolers, then aluminum builders hardware, anklets, then battery charger, battery eliminator, bolting paper, bolts and nuts, chain slashing, circlips, cleaning powder, clinical thermometers, etc. Now, what we really expect from MSME vendors? All our vendors, they have to strictly adhere to quality measures and establish infrastructure for manufacturing. When we go for visiting them, this is what minimum we expect from our vendors. Secondly, establish a proper process control. First of all, process has to be established, then process control has to be demonstrated. And one should have adequate inspection and testing facilities. Basically, we call QA facilities. In order to have a full product knowledge and understand customer requirements and capability to help customers in their crisis. See, the moment we say some product, they should have some background, they should have already interacted with us, then they'll be able to serve us better. If somewhere, if you feel that you have a lesser product knowledge on this, please come to us. We are here and we'll encourage MSMEs beyond our strength. Please come, take appointment, come, meet us. We will give you product knowledge so that it will help you people in going into the manufacturing. Now, this is our vendor registration process. So you have to visit this website. It's an online process basically. A small procedure is given. You have to open the website and there's an icon there or a pull down menu. Go to that suppliers menu. Under that you will get a vendor information. So here you get two things. One is a new vendor registration, or you can even get their MSME registration. Then procedure is self-explanatory on the online, but still I would like to show the screenshots, a few screenshots. This is vendor information. You have to click on this. So you find existing vendors and you find a new vendor registration and you find MSME registration under existing vendors. To become a MSME vendor to us, you have to be a vendor for us. If you are not a vendor, you go and create your vendor credentials under new vendor registration. The moment you click on a new vendor registration, you get this kind of screen and just enter those keys. Then you get this next screen. So enter your basic data here. What are those basic data? It will be shown in the screen. So do you have a vendor code? If you are having, yes, you can say, still enter some updation in this. If you are not having any vendor code, you say no. Then you start entering all your details, name, postal address, which state you are from, then what are your areas, a brief biodata, your test facilities, your machinery facilities, plus your financial data. All these things have to be entered into the online portal, screen available there. Once you enter and save it, you get a control ID. This control ID, you pass it on to us. So you have to enter all these things. Major customers you are dealing with. This is basically your biodata. Once you save here, you get a control ID, share it to us. After getting that control ID, we have this process for selecting the vendors or outsourcing. The process starts with a committee. We have a committee in Bharat Electronics in all the SBUs. It's called as Vendor Evaluation Committee. This committee will be comprised of people from production, finance, then purchase or subcontract and design. So these people will visit the vendor's premise with whatever your uploaded data and verify against each one of those uploaded data. So this is called vendor audit. We do a vendor audit based on what they declared it. If we find anything not as per that or not as per our requirement, then we will give feedback then and there itself to implement. Again, we go for the second time or third time if required for vendor audit. So once it is found satisfactory, then we go for vendor approval. So once we approve a particular vendor in the system, you get a vendor code. So once you have a vendor code, then the next process is a procurement process. So this is our broad procurement process, which is quite generic anywhere in the world if you see. So here on the left hand side, you can see we can go either on a single tender basis. ST is a single tender basis, or it can be on a RT, that is called a restricted tender basis, or a limited tender basis, or on a open tender basis. It depends on the nature of project or nature of the part, quantity, time. Based on all these factors, we decide on the process, like whether we should go on ST or we should go on RT, like that. And when we start with this process, the entire thing bidding happens on our electronic portal. We call it the SRM module, and all the vendors will have to be coming on this SRM portal for offering their bid. So this happens almost 99% by this method. There are few very rare cases we go by secured email ID method also. Please recall during this COVID days when we had no access to many of these electronic systems, then we went by secured email ID method. And then the bids will go to vendors who are already in our AVD. It is nothing but approved vendor directory. As I told in the last slide, the moment vendor is approved, his name and his credentials will get into AVD. So once his bidding is done, as per the procedure, bid will be opened with a stipulated time given. The bid will be evaluated. Once a bid is open, system opens the bid and it gives you what is the L1 price. By default, mail goes to all the bidders. Sometimes we evaluate bid based on the L1, L2, L3. If it is a time preferential project, something is very urgent project, time is the essence of the project. No, it is not that time is not essence many times, but there are some projects which are totally time dependent. It has to happen within 3 months or 6 months. In that case, we call it as a time preferential bid. So there we go with a T1 vendor, selecting him as a first. Whoever gives a lesser time, we select him. So that time we will not go with a pricing. Whereas generally it will be on a pricing. Whoever is L1, he will get the preference. Now, sometimes we split the quantities depending on volume of business. So we split between L1 vendor, L2 vendor, L3 vendor when we executed electronic voting machine project. So one vendor would not be sufficient at that time. So we went with the multiple vendors, but we go in order L1, L2, L3, L4 like that. But definitely it will be at L1 price. We rarely go with a differential price unless really system demands for it. Otherwise, generally it will be at L1 price. So once after selecting, we will have as usual discussion with the vendor, price negotiation if required. Then we go ahead with the PO placement. So once a PO is placed, as per the delivery, vendor will start supplying the material. So the moment we receive his delivery, the vendor evaluation starts in the system. So we evaluate vendor based on the delivery and the quality. Again, we follow a standard pattern. The standard we follow JSG 015 1995 year. So here we use a parameters called quality rating and delivery rating. Purposely, I have not filled in those values. I don't want to put those values and at this make it more alert sort of thing. So we have a acceptable rating for quality and delivery. We have a caution region for quality and delivery rating. And those vendors will be under observation for 1 year. If they are not improving, they may get into unacceptable zone. And unacceptable, we have some ratings, so which we will not consider them for any further RFPs, but we will give them chance to call us for again vendor audit. We go again check their process, whether they have plugged in their loopholes and any corrective action and preventive action has been in place. That we will check and again we'll bring them back onto the system. Or sometime permanently we might debar them if it is totally in their unacceptable zone. So once vendor evaluation happens, that is based on vendor rating, the vendor review happens within us and we give this vendor rating and review once in a year to all the vendors. If they are in a danger zone, definitely we will give them, and we will not leave at that point. We do hand holding. We give a sufficient time for them to improve and come back with the necessary corrective action and preventive action. So that will be finally cleared by our vendor audit committee again. I just want to touch upon our activities with respect to startups. Startup company is the one company has been in existence for less than years and revenue not exceeding 25 crores. That is just a definition. So what are our relaxation for startups? So we don't go by their prior experience or a prior turnover. They will be engaged in development, deployment, or commercialization of new products, process or services driven by technology or intellectual property. The company has got IP and it is useful to me, useful to my company in a particular area. So definitely we will engage them. And we can provide advance up to 15% against bank guarantee. But it has to be adhering to some of the clauses which are mentioned here. Apart from the previous, whatever I listed the activities, some of the areas identified for startups, is machine learning, cyber security, AI-based activities, embedded computing, and any more is there, it will be published through our BEL website. See, some of the test facilities what we have, and we offer it to startups for their testing purpose. So we have a cold and heat chambers, thermal cycling chambers, vibration test facility, bump test machine. Please go to my website. All the specifications are available. So if any startups or MSME vendors or any of the vendors, if they want to use this, they can use these things. if they really want to get tested for all these specifications. Of course, this is chargeable, and it has to meet some conditions for that. So what a startup has to give us: company profile, IT returns for 3 years, audited balance sheet, PAN and TIN. This will be verified by our company. And a registered private entity shall submit all the end-use certificate, NDAs, along with the test facility request. So the procedure is given. Please go through our website. I don't want to get into each and every line. So maybe in the Q&A session, we can deal it little in detail. So I'm just coming to a conclusion slide. During MSME, during our projects, most of our indigenization activity, MSMEs are the one, as many speakers have told, backbone of our growth. I totally agree with that. They are the key drivers for economic growth, and their contribution in our growth also is enormous. Increasing empowerment of MSME by government. A lot of opportunities are given to MSME sectors through innovation, design, manufacturing, consultancy, etc. And we want to maximize efforts to complement Make in India initiatives through synergy between DL and MSMEs. DL, we will extend all the necessary support. As I told you, please visit us anytime. And we are here to help MSME vendors. And we look forward for a greater contribution from MSME in building a sustainable relationship with Bharat Electronics. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. I open the question and answer session. A couple of questions have already been feed in. The first question is from Krishna Kumar. Are you looking for vendors with electronic background alone, or can mechanical parts traders also enroll as MSME vendors?
No, nothing like that. Anybody can be a vendor for us as long as he meets our requirements, specifications, and he has a capability to manufacture as required by us. There's nothing like he has to be an electronic vendor or a mechanical, nothing like that. Our company is called Bharat Electronics. I'm also a mechanical engineer working here. And we have a lot of mechanical activities because all our electronic products, if you see, they are more of mechanical in nature, manufacturing side.
So, Mr. Kumaran, we have been doing heat treatment of parts for BEL. How to register?
If you are doing heat treatment activities, if a project requires that particular activity, only heat treatment activity, then we will be definitely coming to you. Generally, heat treatment will be part of our complete manufacturing activity. So you may have to be associated with our MSME vendors. You can still register, there is no issue. We will direct you to those kind of vendors who are manufacturing our parts which require heat treatment.
So there is a question. Mona, I want to know if you are outsourcing of non-secured services only for registered vendors?
See, always we outsource only for registered vendors. If you are having a potential to become one of our vendor, please go and register yourself. Then we will go through as per the procedure mentioned. So we will approve you if you are in that field and if you are meeting our requirement. Then we will place will include you in the RFP.
The floor is open for questions. The audience can ask the questions, please. One at a time, please.
So good afternoon, Srinivasan here. I thank you for your wonderful presentation. And we had visited you on 19th of June along with my General Secretary, Mr. Narayan Prasanna, at your Bharat Electronics facility. Sir, my question to you is, how can you help startup and incubation companies which have got new ideas in defense electronics with your facility in Bangalore plant, the similar activity is being done on IoT by ITI Bangalore plants. Can you tell us about more information on this?
Okay, when it comes to startups, as I told you, we entertain or encourage startups as listed in our website. We list activities required to be taken up by startups. So that is one method. The second method, you have got your own IP or some expertise, which will be required for my defense products or projects. That before publishing, if you want to come on your own, you can come and meet us. We will direct you to a required department. Our nodal officers, you can be in touch with them. They will direct you to a particular SBU or SBUs based on your expertise area. Go and have interaction with them. If really it is workable, then immediately we can start up the activities. Otherwise, you have to wait for it to be published on our website, whatever is required by us, and if your technology or expertise matches to that.
Thank you, sir.
So Muniraj has a question. Vendor registration is permanent or order-based?
See, vendor registration is permanent till you are an active vendor. The moment you become a dormant vendor, assuming that you are not participating in the tenders and or your vendor rating is very poor, then only it gets removed from our vendor database. Otherwise, by no other means, it will be deleted.
So the question is from DS Techno Rubber, sir. What is the quality certification you expect from supplier?
Can you come again? It's not very audible.
What is the quality certification you expect from the supplier?
See, basically, since I have shown in my slides, we are on what kind of quality system we are showing you. We expect our vendor to be a minimum ISO certified, because that is a requirement, and EMS wherever that kind of requirement is there. But few cases we have gone out of the way because you are a new vendor, and we will educate you or we will handhold you to get into certification. That is a basic minimum requirement. Coming to the second certification, let us say what my product demands or my activity demands. If that calls for some particular certification, that has to be adhered by you.
The floor is open. Everybody can ask the question. One at a time, please. Please go ahead.
If we are done with the question answers, I just wanted to conclude with a small capsule on our ventilator project which we had during COVID days. I'll take only 2 to 3 minutes.
Please, sir.
So can I go ahead?
Please, sir. Go ahead.
Yes,
Sir.
yes.
Okay. So during the COVID days, when entire country lockdown was there, even our company also there was a lockdown. And during that time, we got a project from Government of India that is producing 30,000 numbers of ventilators. During this journey, we are not into ventilator business basically, but this project, it was given by Government of India to us, and we started our journey with technology partner. When we started this activity, we found totally a new requirement in terms of machining or sheet metal or purchase parts, and entire world is not responding, and no vendors were allowed to work. That was a situation during which time Bharat Electronics went ahead and gave opportunity for all the vendors, MSME vendors, by giving permission from the local authorities or district commissioner, whatever was required. And I must say, today we are in a better position, and only our deliveries to the Government of India have started ventilators. It was only because of the MSME vendors who supported us in this journey. I can say, in fact, they worked around the clock, though there were a lot of challenges for them. Challenges for us also it was there. But We worked, I mean, they worked very closely with us and they helped Bharat Electronics like anything. Even now it is continuing. We'll be closing the project very shortly. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. On behalf of Laghu Udyog Bharati Karnataka chapter, I sincerely thank you for the exhaustive session for today on data development with Bharat Electronics. I'm sure every participant who participated today has immensely benefited out of your presentation. We seek your support and guidance in future also, sir. Can I now request Mr. Bozak to kindly conclude the session? Mr. Bozak, please.
Hello.
Good evening, Mr. Ravindranath.
Good evening.
Thank you very much for your presentation. It was a lot of insights into it, and it is a good to note about the vendor registration and the products, everything for our fraternity. Laghu Udyog Bharati Karnataka, we have all types of members. They are into electronics, they are into mechanical. All we are having members in all sectors. Definitely, our members are interested to be part of with BEL. Definitely, we hope our members will get registered with BEL. Thank you very much for your presentation and time. And we also have a startup initiative called Tech Bharat. We are recently we had a conclave of startups. So definitely in future, definitely we will approach you. You can definitely cooperate with us so that definitely our startups also will get benefited. And we thank you very much for your time and presentation. Definitely hope for the best for our fraternity. And also I extend thanks to all the participants, and I request all participants to fill the feedback form. It will help us to improve our programs in future. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for inviting me for sharing my thoughts. Thank you.
Thank you.
May I have your contact details, sir?
So can I leave the call?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sir, what about the ventilator presentation?